Did you know that by the age of 80, you could lose up to half of your muscle mass compared to your younger years? This isn't just about feeling weak. This condition is called sarcopenia, and it quietly strips millions of older adults of their strength, balance, and independence. Over 50 million seniors are affected, and every year, more than 300,000 end up in the hospital due to falls caused by muscle weakness. But here's the truly surprising part. New research published in the Journal of Physiology has debunked the myth that muscle loss is an inevitable part of aging. Some people in their 70s and 80s maintain the strength, mobility, and even appearance they had in their 50s. Others struggle to get out of a chair or climb stairs. What's their secret? The problem is that 93% of seniors don't know which habits help stop or even reverse muscle loss. And most doctors aren't talking about it. Yet, institutions like the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School confirm that simple daily actions can genuinely rebuild muscle and restore strength, even in advanced age. Unfortunately, most people make the same mistake every day that subtly accelerates muscle mass loss. It's easy to change, though. This one thing can determine whether you remain active or become dependent on others for help. In this video, we'll reveal 7 habits of active seniors who maintain their strength and vitality. They're still hiking, playing sports, and outperforming younger people in strength tests. But first, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Now let's begin. Habit number 7. Hormetic stress, strength, and discomfort. Most people assume that old age equals weakness. But what if it's not about time, but about comfort? It turns out one of the most powerful ways to preserve muscle after 60 isn't pills or protein powder. It's short-term stress, known as hormetic stress. Think of things like a cold shower, a sauna session, or brief periods of fasting. You might have already felt its effects. A cold shower is invigorating, and you get a surge of energy after a sauna. This isn't just a feeling. It's the activation of cellular repair processes. How does it work? Brief exposures to stress, like heat, cold, or hunger, switch on the body's protective mechanisms. These mechanisms help preserve muscle, improve mitochondrial function, and stimulate hormones that rejuvenate the body. For instance, just 30 to 60 seconds of cold water in the shower can boost your levels of adiponectin, a hormone that protects muscles. Finnish scientists have shown that regular sauna use reduces muscle loss in the elderly by 40%. Even intermittent fasting, eating only within an 8 to 10 hour window each day, improved muscle cell health by up to 10% in 12 weeks, without weight loss or dieting. And a simple isometric exercise, like pushing hard against a wall for 5 to 10 seconds, can trigger muscle growth almost as effectively as a full workout, but without stressing your joints. The key is moderation. Too much stress has the opposite effect. But in reasonable doses, it activates longevity genes and helps maintain muscle and vitality. Surprisingly, many people still avoid these practices simply because no one explained why they're beneficial. Now you know. If you're over 60, a little bit of controlled discomfort, cold water, mild hunger, brief muscle tension, can become your muscle's best friend for years to come. Meal timing with protein, an underrated factor. Everyone knows that eating protein is important for maintaining muscle, especially as you age. But few people realize that it's not just about how much protein you get, but also when you get it. As you get older, your body becomes less efficient at using dietary protein. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance. So, simply eating meat isn't enough anymore. One of the most common mistakes older adults make is eating almost no protein in the morning and afternoon, then trying to catch up at dinner. But this approach doesn't work. Your muscles can only effectively utilize protein within a 3 to 4 hour window after you eat it. If you only eat one protein-rich meal a day, you're missing out on a whole day's worth of opportunities to maintain muscle mass. The solution? Distribute your protein intake evenly throughout the day. Aim for 25 to 30 grams per meal. This is roughly equivalent to 100 grams of cooked chicken breast or 2 medium eggs. For breakfast, think eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or a protein shake. For lunch and dinner, include lean meat, fish, beans, cheese, or tofu. In one University of Texas study, participants gained 550 grams of muscle mass in 12 weeks without changing their workouts, simply by distributing their protein intake correctly throughout the day. As a bonus, This approach improves blood sugar levels, reduces appetite, and even enhances mental clarity, all things that often decline with age. So, if you're trying to eat right, don't let incorrect protein timing negate all your efforts. With a couple of simple adjustments, your regular breakfast, lunch, and dinner can become true protection for your muscles. Next, we'll discuss a vitamin that over 80% of older adults are deficient in and how its lack can slowly erode your strength. Habit number 5, vitamin D, the quiet muscle killer. When people think of vitamin D, the first thing that usually comes to mind is bone health. But this crucial vitamin has a hidden side. It plays a critical role in preserving muscle strength as you age. And here's the alarming fact. Over 80% of older adults are deficient, and most don't even realize it. Few people know that vitamin D isn't just important for bones. It's also called the muscle vitamin. Why? Because muscle cells have vitamin D receptors. Without enough of it, they can't fully repair, function, or grow. According to a large study published in JAMDA, Journal of the American Medical Directors Association, older adults with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% greater muscle strength than those who were deficient. They also had better reflexes, balance, and a lower risk of falls, all critical for maintaining independence in later life. What's also important is that with age, your skin loses its ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight. By age 60, this process is about 50% less efficient. This means even if you spend time outdoors, it doesn't guarantee you're getting enough vitamin D. The recommended daily allowance for older adults is 600 IU, but research shows this is often insufficient for most people. To reach optimal blood levels, experts recommend 2,400 IU per day, especially if you get little sun exposure or don't eat fatty fish and fortified dairy products. But there's a nuance. If you take high doses of vitamin D, make sure you're also getting vitamin K2. Without it, calcium can accumulate in your arteries instead of going into your bones and muscles, increasing the risk of cardiovascular problems. Vitamin K2 is found in fermented soy products, hard cheeses, egg yolks, and organ meats. What should you do? Get a blood test for vitamin D and aim for a level above 40 nanograms per milliliter. If necessary, take a D3 plus K2 supplement and include foods rich in these vitamins in your diet. Try to get 15 to 20 minutes of sun exposure daily. This is simple, but this one step can be the crucial difference between strength and weakness. Next, we'll explore one of the most underestimated reasons for age-related muscle loss and how what's happening in your gut can slowly erode your strength from the inside. Number 4, chronic inflammation, the silent muscle thief. Usually, when we talk about inflammation, we picture something obvious: pain, swelling, redness. But the most dangerous kind is inflammation you don't even feel. It's called chronic low-grade inflammation or inflammaging. And for older adults, it's one of the most destructive and unnoticed causes of muscle mass loss. What's happening inside? With age, inflammation gradually builds up in the body due to poor sleep, gut imbalances, stress, or hidden food sensitivities. This inflammation doesn't cause obvious symptoms right away, but day after day, it erodes your strength. According to a study from Tufts University, older adults with high levels of inflammation lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with lower levels, even if they ate the same and exercised. Why? Inflammation interferes with muscles' ability to receive signals for growth. Simply put, it makes it harder for your body to build muscle and easier to lose it. But there's good news. The so-called super-agers, active, strong older adults, share a common practice. They actively reduce inflammation daily. Here are a few habits worth adopting. Prioritize quality sleep. Go to bed at the same time in a dark room. This can reduce inflammatory cytokines by 40%. Support gut health. The gut is a major source of inflammation. Eat over 30 different plant foods per week and fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut. Move smartly. Light activity every day and just 1 or 2 short, intense workouts per week are better than constant strenuous exercise. Include anti-inflammatory foods in your diet: fatty fish for omega-3s, turmeric, berries, green tea, and olive oil. Aim for 2 to 3 grams of omega-3s per day. Not sure if you have inflammation? Ask your doctor for a high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP, blood test. In super-agers, it's below 1 milligrams per liter. In most people, it's 3 to 5 times higher, and they don't even know it. The takeaway: if your body is constantly fighting internal inflammation, even a perfect diet and exercise routine won't fully protect your muscles. You need to quench the internal fire first, and then strength will begin to return. Next, a group of hidden but vital micronutrients that work behind the scenes for your muscles, and why their deficiency can sabotage all your efforts. Number 3. Micronutrients, the secret muscle helpers. They don't directly build muscle, but without them, your body can't effectively use dietary protein or benefit from exercise. And here's the catch. Most older adults suffer from a deficiency in at least one of these crucial substances, often without realizing it. Let's start with one of the most important elements: magnesium. It's often called the forgotten electrolyte, but magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions related to muscles, including energy production, muscle contraction, and recovery. Yet, over 70% of older adults don't get enough magnesium. In one study, older adults with normal magnesium levels showed 30% greater grip strength and better physical performance than those with even a slight deficiency. To boost your magnesium intake, focus on leafy green vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, and yes, a little dark chocolate. Next, creatine. No, it's not just for bodybuilders. Creatine helps muscles store energy and improves both strength and cognitive function in older adults. A daily creatine supplement of 3 to 5 grams has been shown to increase muscle mass, strength, and even improve brain function in seniors, especially when combined with strength training. Vitamin B12 is next, especially important as you age. Why? Because your body's ability to absorb vitamin B12 significantly decreases with age, particularly if you take proton pump inhibitors or metformin, two common medications among older adults. Vitamin B12 plays a vital role in nerve health, energy metabolism, and muscle signaling. The most effective form is methylated B12, methylcobalamin, not the cheaper synthetic version often found in most multivitamins. Don't forget about other trace elements. Zinc supports muscle repair and immune health. Selenium protects muscles from oxidative stress. Chromium improves insulin sensitivity, helping nutrients get into muscle tissue faster. A long-term study from Tufts University found that older adults with optimal levels of these micronutrients retained 22% more muscle mass over 5 years compared to those with deficiencies. So what to do? Don't guess. Ask your doctor for a micronutrient blood test to identify deficiencies. Prioritize whole foods rich in vitamins and minerals. Take supplements wisely and not in excess, based on your body's actual needs. Because no matter how perfectly you eat or exercise, you'll never get the full benefit without the support of the micronutrients that help everything work efficiently. Now, get ready for a fascinating look at the connection between your brain and muscles, and why preserving one very important link might be the true secret to staying strong, coordinated, and independent even in older age. Next, habit number 2, neuromuscular connections, the hidden link between strength and aging. When people talk about muscle loss, they often picture shrinking muscle fibers or a lack of exercise. But what if the real problem isn't the muscles at all, but your nervous system's ability to control them? It's true. The link between your brain and muscles, known as the neuromuscular junction, plays a huge role in your ability to stay strong, coordinated, and independent as you age. And once this connection starts to weaken, which happens faster than most people realize, no amount of protein or exercise can fully restore your strength. Here's the deal. After age 60, these neuromuscular connections start to rapidly break down if they aren't maintained. Think of them like electrical outlets. If the wiring is damaged, it doesn't matter how powerful the muscle is. The signal simply won't get through. But here's the good news. Recent research shows that certain habits can preserve or even rebuild these crucial communication pathways between the brain and muscles, helping older adults stay strong, mobile, and mentally sharp. How do the super-agers achieve this? First, they train coordination, not just strength. Activities that require precise movements and timing, like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong, stimulate the brain and nervous system in ways that simple walking or strength training alone cannot. In a 2020 study, Older adults who participated in coordination exercises twice a week preserved their neuromuscular connections 31% better than those who stuck to traditional workouts. Second, they support their nerves with targeted nutrients. Compounds like alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl-L-carnitine help protect neuromuscular synapses from oxidative damage. Vitamins like the active form of vitamin B1, benfotiamine, and herbs like huperzine A have also been shown to stimulate acetylcholine, a key neurotransmitter your nerves use to activate muscles. Third, they stimulate the vagus nerve. Sounds strange, right? But simple breathing techniques like box breathing, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, can increase parasympathetic nervous system activity and improve neuromuscular signaling. Just 5 minutes of this a day can boost neuromuscular activation by up to 15%, as shown in a recent study. Fourth, they keep their minds sharp. Cognitive decline and muscle loss often go hand in hand. This is because the same neural networks involved in thinking and memory also help control movement. A Columbia University study found that older adults who regularly engaged in mentally challenging tasks, like puzzles, learning new skills, or memory games, maintained better neuromuscular function than their peers. So, while most fitness advice focuses on the body, highly active older adults understand that if you don't train the brain, the muscles won't follow. And here's the best part. These habits are simple, enjoyable, and can be done at home. No gym membership or expensive equipment required. And now, the most important habit. This is the most powerful of all, what researchers are calling the closest thing we have to an anti-aging drug. And it's probably not what you think. Habit number 1, progressive strength training, the ultimate anti-aging habit. If there is one habit that distinguishes strong and independent 80-year-olds from their weaker and sedentary peers, this is it. It's not a supplement. It's not a superfood. It's not even walking, swimming, or yoga, though those are good too. It's progressive strength training, and researchers at Tufts University call it the closest thing we have to an anti-aging drug. Here's why. After age 30, adults lose 3 to 8% of their muscle mass each decade. And this process accelerates significantly after 60. But it's not just about appearance or athletic performance. Muscle loss is a loss of strength, balance, mobility, metabolism, and independence. And here's the most underrated statement. Muscles don't stay simply because you're active. To maintain, let alone build, aging muscles, you need to challenge them. This is where progressive overload comes in. Highly active older adults follow 4 core principles. First, they focus on intensity, not just movement. A brief, high-effort strength training session brings more benefit to aging muscles than hours of light activity. In fact, studies show that just 2 weeks of intense training achieved greater muscle gains than 5 weeks of moderate exercise. The goal isn't to lift heavy, but to reach muscle fatigue with safe technique. That point where you feel like you can't do another repetition with good form. That's where growth happens. Second, they prioritize compound movements. Instead of isolation exercises like bicep curls or leg extensions, highly active older adults focus on full-body movements that mimic daily activities. Squats or getting up from a chair, push-ups, even against a wall, rows or pull-ups with resistance bands, deadlifts or hinge movements with good technique. These movements activate more muscle groups, trigger more hormones, and build functional strength that you actually use in everyday life. Third, they track and increase the challenge over time. Using the same light weights forever won't cut it. Highly active older adults track their workouts, even if it's just notes in a notebook, and aim to do a little more each week. More repetitions, more resistance, more time under tension. Fourth, they slow down the eccentric phase, especially the lowering portion. The eccentric phase, when the weight is lowered slowly, creates more tension and promotes greater muscle growth without overloading the joints. This is one of the safest and most effective ways for older adults to build strength. And here's the most exciting part. Even older adults starting strength training in their 70s or 80s can see tremendous improvements. A 12-week progressive strength training program helped older adults gain over 1.3 kilograms of muscle and increase strength by 35%, according to a University of Alabama study. With the muscle gains came improvements in brain function, denser bones, and better blood sugar control. All this from just 2 30-minute sessions per week. Yet, Many older adults avoid strength training, fearing it's too dangerous or not for their age. But the real danger is not doing it. Because without strength training, muscle loss is inevitable. And with it comes frailty, falls, and a loss of independence. If you take away just one habit from this video, make it this one. Progressive strength training is safe, accessible, and life-changing, no matter where you start. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. A qualified trainer, physical therapist, or even an online guide can help you get started safely and confidently. So there you have it, 7 powerful, science-backed habits that help older adults not just survive the aging process, but thrive. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, it's never too late to become stronger, sharper, and more independent than you were yesterday. Because aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It's possible when science shows us how to train smarter, eat better, and live stronger, one step at a time.